Hello, everyone. This is Martika Escobar. I'm the writer, director of LEONOR Will Never Die, and you're watching Rise and Shine with FilAm Creative. Kamusta? Ako si Martika Escobar, ang director ng LEONOR Will Never Die, at nanonood kayo ngayon ng Rise and Shine with FilAm Creative.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and for the 41st time, let's rise and shine. So here they are, it's Ed and Roni.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're not having a morning, good evening. And if you're not having an evening, good afternoon. Hi, I'm Roni.
And I'm Ed. And yes, Roni brought up a great point because it is the morning if you're watching it here on Tuesday, March 8th. Welcome, by the way, to our second episode of Women's History Month. But it's the morning for sure in the Philippines because we have a guest today from the Philippines because, as you know, it's Tuesday, March 8th, but we usually tape these things in the morning. That's why we say good morning, good morning. But it's actually an afternoon for Roni and me. So it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon for Roni and me, but it's 9 a.m. for our special guest today. So we want to go ahead and bring her out. We want to send our love to our brother Rex, who is not with us this week. He will be back with us next week when we have the wonderful Dr. Stacy and Mia Hopkins from the Baker's Notebook, and they'll be celebrating St. Patrick's Day with us. They've got some great recipes for St. Patrick's Day, so we hope that you will join us for that. But our special guest today, who's already with us, you can see her right now. Here, she's waving. Hello, hello. And she is also the writer-director of the first Filipino recipient of the Sundance Special Jury Award for Innovative Spirit. She's the writer-director of the award-winning film from Sundance, Leonor Will Never Die. Ladies and gentlemen, we're so happy today to have Martika Escobar. Good morning.
Roni, thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.
Today is March 8th, so it actually is Women's History, or I'm sorry, it's International Women's Day, which is part of Women's History Month. So we're so happy to have Martika today. So Marty, before we even talk about anything, obviously a lot of eyeballs are on this episode today because they know that you are a history-making writer-director. So for those who haven't seen the film yet, and Rex knows I love to say this, and so does Roni, if you have not seen the film yet, what's the matter with you? But if you haven't seen the film yet, could you please, Marty, share with us a little bit about Leonor Will Never Die?
Our film is it's a film within a film about this retired filmmaker who gets transported into an action film where she becomes the hero, and she eventually writes the film herself and until it's complete. So it's like this really crazy hybrid of different genres. That's also a homage to the 80s Pinoy action movies.
Oh, that sounds incredible. I love genre mixing. I feel like it used to be more of a thing back in like the 2000s, 2010s, but now I don't see too much of it. And the fact that we have an action film and there's like a more serious tone to it, right? Because the protagonist, she's undergoing some health issues.
Yes.
Now, Marty, I know that unfortunately because of COVID, you were not able to travel from the Philippines. You're in Manila right now, so you were not able to travel from Manila to Utah, to the United States. But talk to us a little bit about the experience, even though you were not able to be in the festival in the States. Talk about the experience from being online. What was that like for you?
I think Sundance is very good in making us filmmakers feel like we get to experience the festival even if we're just at home, because they were very thoughtful about the activities. Like we had this New Frontier spaceship thing where you can network with people once you log in, so you're there as little avatars. So it's like you're meeting people in real life, but you're just in your computer. And I also appreciate the fact that they gave us like passes so we could watch the whole program, since in the Philippines it's geo blocked. So at first I was worried that we couldn't even watch our own film. But yeah, they were really kind to us, and what I like the most about them is that they treat us as family. Like the programmers would constantly like send me emails or like messages telling me like, hey, this review came out, or like, hey, this is what this person thinks of your film. So yeah, it was really fun. And I'm actually surprised that like I enjoyed the online festival, because before that I thought it would be like sad. Because we were ready for Utah. We had our visas, we were already packed up. We had a lodging already. But when they canceled, I was like, well, there's nothing we can do really. So I guess I just accepted it. But now that I got to experience it, it's really, I think, I'm not sure if it's better, but part of me thinks that it's better because more people were able to watch the film. Then if it then if we screen in Utah. Sorry, I'm buckling up with my brains kind of like
It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
I totally no, it's totally fine. That's what we love about on Rise and Shine, is that we're all just kind of waking up and our brains are maybe everywhere. But no, I totally get that picture. I've heard a lot of different places have done virtual avatars and like meeting spaces. Again, reminds me very early 2000s. Getting to be in that digital space, but I love hearing that they treated you well, even though you didn't get to be there in person. Was there I mean, you don't have to network and tell, but did you get to connect with other filmmakers and have some industry talk?
I don't call it like industry talk, but I was able to meet like people that I guess I could call like acquaintances or like new friends. Because in that spaceship thing, you get to hang out with strangers. They have this like portals and you can just enter and mingle with people. And they also had this like hidden online like party. So you'd like log in and enter so many rooms until you arrive at this, like, imagine a photo with a karaoke bar, and all your videos will appear as if you're seated in the karaoke room and you can sing with like strangers.
Stop. Digital
That's
virtual
great.
karaoke.
Yes,
Did
I
they
did.
read our minds?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh
They
my
know
god.
what we-
Okay. But did you get to sing?
Yes, I did. And it's Don't Stop Believing. I just remember that.
Of course.
I was mind blown when I saw that. Like, what? How were you able to come up with this? But yeah, it's amazing. They made us feel like we had actual like, friends and an actual networking platform.
That's great.
Incredible.
That's great. Now, do you now obviously you were talking about how you were packed and you had your visas ready. So do you have any plans to come to the United States, to come to Los Angeles to meet me and Ronnie, for example? Like, do you have plans to come to
Of
the States?
I mean,
course.
we're around.
Yep. Of course. I mean, I'll find you when I go there. I was supposed to be in LA to experience like the festival and just like be in the same time zone, but I had like COVID just right before I was supposed to fly, so it didn't happen. But I like just recently, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to tell you this, but I think like we secured North American distribution, so I might be like around the area within.
Awesome.
Congrats! Oh, hey, I know what you're doing. You're sitting there liking what we're doing over here. So do me a favor, hit that like button, add a comment. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what you feel. What are you waiting for? Do it now.
Your first feature films and it wins something at Sundance. That is just that's the dream. That's great.
That's iconic. I like want to be you when I grow up.
Yes. Talk about, so Marty, with that in mind, then, since it was your first time, talk about the experience of making the film. Like, did you have a lot of help? Did organizations help you? How did you meet your cast? Talk a little bit about the experience of making the film.
That's like a really long story, because this film is an 8 years. It's an 8-year project. When I started, I was like 21. I didn't have a producer. We didn't have money. The project was ambitious. But I think like through patience and just like waiting for the right people to come, it was able to like build itself until we shot in 2019. So yeah, I mean, 8 years is quite long than all other films. But I think we really needed that long to be able to make a film like this, because it's like what I said, it's ambitious, it's unconventional, so it's hard to find funding for it. It had a lot of like risks. Even like the storytelling isn't that's that accessible. But yeah, I'd say it's a big like labor of love. I call it a friendship project because really it's my friends and my producers efforts who made everything possible. When I started this, I really thought that it would never happen. I just wanted to write a script, but it's my producers who like made sure that it was gonna happen. And I had really good producers. Like they're great. They're both filmmakers. It's Mario Cornejo and Monster Jimenez, who are like established in their own right. So yeah, it's because of them and all my collaborators that yeah, we were able to, I guess, go to Sundance. And I just have a feeling that what Sundance likes about our film is that it looks like this giant friendship film, which is I guess rare or not much like the other films in our category who had like a big budget, had grand ideas. Ours was like very simple and felt like a student film.
Now you talked about how how it was kind of an homage to films you used to enjoy watching growing up. A lot of our viewers obviously are here in the States. So for our viewers who are in the States or really anywhere who just, they're film buffs, they like to get into different kinds of films. Can you talk a little bit about some of the films that inspired you, some of the directors, so that maybe some of our viewers can look them up too?
Right. I think what's interesting to like mention in this like conversation is that I based the homage on my memory of watching action films as a child. So I don't really remember the titles. I do remember the action stars. Of course, there's the like FPJ, Rudy Fernandez, all of those action stars. But if we're talking about like titles or like filmmakers, I'm not so sure. It's really like what I remember and how I like want to interpret it in this film.
Sure.
But on YouTube, there are so many like uploaded. I'm not sure if it's even like legal. I'm sure it's not, but they're uploaded there. You just like write Pinoy action FPJ film. It's all there. Some of them are stored. So you can just like if you feel like watching like 80s Pinoy action films, just search for it on YouTube.
Oh hell yeah! For those of us who are not super well versed in Filipino 80s action films, I'm about to do that like right now.
Hey, did you know that you can make a tax-deductible donation to us? Check it out. Rise and Shine is produced by FilAm Creative, and we're an official registered nonprofit organization. So if you like programming like Rise and Shine, why don't you Venmo us a couple of bucks, some quid, and we'd really appreciate it. So you can Venmo us at FilAm Creative. That's at FilAm Creative. And hey, thanks for watching Rise and Shine.
So Marty, you talked about your producers and how it was a great friendship film. Talk about your actors. Talk about the casting. Tell us about the principal actors of your film.
Well, I feel like I'm such a lucky director to have such an amazing team and actors, because like everything like went well in our shoot, and I'm so happy that all the actors we had in the film are still like friends until now. Like we were very supportive when Sundance was happening. We were all watching together, even if we were apart. We would share photos. Like they're very good as people, but they're also very good as actors. And my basis really of like casting them was if they read and I felt that they were a real person. Because when they read their characters, some people would feel like they're reading a script, but these people, when they read, I'm like, oh, real person. And that's really the basis. And our lead actress, Sheila Francisco, is amazing. She's just like the best actress I've ever worked with. And I think like a lot of the what people notice about the film is really her performance. It's how she felt like this real like lady going through many things in life. So yeah, I'm very, very lucky. And it was very fun. And they were also like on this different level of professionalism, because it's my first films and I'm just like having fun on set. They were very professional, so that rubbed off me, and I'm like, okay, we're serious and let's make something good.
My God, I love that. So like, was there any and can I ask how long was the shoot for, since it, friends and family kind of setting, but how long were you guys doing principal photography for?
We shot for 16 days as planned in 2019. But after the first we call it assembly, we added more shoot days. Like, but it would just be me or like a small team shooting additional stuff. So I guess like 20 days of like, shooting until right before Sundance. We finished one of the scenes right before Sundance. So yeah, it's really like this film that I think builds itself through the years. If it didn't have that time, it wouldn't be that film.
So are there like time jumps? Like, are there scenes in the movie that happen like a year or 6 months later, that kind of thing, because of the different stages you had to film in?
Yes, but those scenes are the ones that can stand independently.
Nice.
So there's no like continuity to be worried about.
You don't have like an eraser head moment. Ed, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what you? Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
there was like this indie film, like an American indie film that was like real experimental, and then there was Ed, do you know what I'm talking about, or am I being too much of a film dweeb? Where somebody the main actor opens a door, and the shot where he goes through the doors 2 years later.
Oh really?
So, yeah. And I was like wondering if we were gonna have if LEONOR Will Never Die has like an eraser head moment, but because you're a smart director, that did not happen. Okay, good to know.
It's in what? Yeah, but nice story. I've seen Eraserhead, but I didn't know that it like the door thing was shut.
It's when he's at the door at the end of the hallway, and then like he goes through. It's like, I know, it's like, wow, you should have given your costumer a raise after that one.
Exactly.
Hair and makeup.
Now, Marty, I know that the film has screened virtually. Have you had a chance to screen the film in person at a movie theater yet in the Philippines?
No, never. That's why it's my secret now. I just want to see it in a big screen.
This is, but that's so great though that it's this award-winning film that hasn't even made it to the theaters yet. So you've got this great, usually by now it's made at least a few festivals. So are there plans for the film to be screened at any of the festivals? Do you have anything like that, or?
Yes, we have a sales agent on board, and we have like a few festivals. I guess next month. Great. I'm not sure I'm gonna travel, but I'm happy that the film is able to travel and it will finally see a big screen. I hope.
Oh,
absolutely.
Is it worldwide now or just the US?
The distribution is just for US, for North America, but our next festivals are in Europe since we already had the American premiere.
Awesome. And then so obviously one of the more popular questions I'm sure you get a lot when you do interviews is, what's next? What would you like to do next?
That's so hard to answer because like this film took so much of everyone's soul and heart, and it feels like I want to rest right now. But of course, there's always a lot of concepts in my mind. I'm working on a second feature that I hope gets done in not 8 years. I hope much less than that. And I'm still working as a cinematographer here in the Philippines because that's really what I like doing.
Okay. So, and that's that might be a nice second to this question. Talk about, obviously FilAm Creative is the umbrella organization for Rise and Shine, and we are the haven for so many artists and aspiring filmmakers, cinematographers, writers, directors. Talk about the community, the filmmaking community, the independent filmmaking community in the Philippines. What's that like?
I'd say it's tight knit, but also it has a lot of subgroups. But I think in general, we're all friends with each other. We sort of know each other, and we see a lot of them during film events. Well, I guess that was how it was pre-pandemic, because people would just gather in film screenings in micro cinemas. I don't know if you've heard of Cine Adarna in the Philippines. So the smaller cinemas, the ones that are not in the malls. So yeah, yes. Filmmakers usually gather, and if you needed help, you could just ask your filmmaker friend, hey, can you help me? So yeah, for example, in this film, a lot of the extras are filmmakers. So when I needed people, I'd post on Facebook, hey, please help us. We don't have extras.
So it sounds like even though, the pandemic is still an issue, it sounds like the independent film scene there has continued to thrive at these at these film theaters that are not in the malls. So
no, I was talking about like how it was like before, but
Okay.
now it's
Oh.
still like VOD. It's all online, but there are a lot of film shoots happening because I think more people are watching online and at their home, so more content is needed. So yeah, but the community, we don't see each other as much anymore, which is kind of sad. But I'm happy that people are still making films because that's what I didn't want to like not happen.
of course.
And we're just patiently waiting for the day that you guys can all get back together. I'm guessing to have like your real film big screen moment.
Yeah, hope so.
So can I ask a more about like your crew and your producers? Like, so were there, did you get to work with any other women, especially in creatives? And then also on the crew level, like, did you have any women ACs, women DPs, anything like that?
Yeah, I love women. And my producer, Monster, is like this really powerful, like absolutely wonderful, amazing producer. So she like, I think she led like the entire team, even me. Like when I'm lost, like she'd be like, hey, this is where to go. And that was really important. But for the crew, I think it was like equal. We had my AD, our production manager, all the managerial departments. They're women, sound designer, scorer, a camera operator. Yeah, I just like the feminine energy on set as well.
Oh, I love a woman cam op. It's like I often AD too, so it's like to be able to work in those departments and just kind of like take it over is very, it's empowering, right? And especially to and I unfortunately enough, I have yet to work with a woman director, so that would be one of my dreams. So if you need, if
Here's
you
one
know,
right here.
I was about to say, if you need any more help, my passport I think is still good, unless you want to make a film here in stateside.
That's true.
Well, it's March 8th. It's International Women's Day. It's Ronnie and Ed, and we're chatting here with Marty Escobar during Women's History Month. This is the second of 5 special episodes this month that FilAm Creative and Rise and Shine are hosting. If you're enjoying this episode with our new friend Marty, please consider dropping a few dollars, a few quid, some Philippine pesos at our Venmo at FilAm Creative. That's at FilAm Creative. We used to have a special speller, but that person is not able to be with us today. But if you're interested,
instead we're going to put graphics right here.
Absolutely.
There you go, Jer Bear.
There you go. So yes, please consider dropping a few quid and helping our cause, as we are here to present great programming such as today with Marty Escobar. Marty, as I just alluded to, it is International Women's Day. What can you say to little girls who are going to watch your film, young women, young ladies, high school students, college students who are watching your film and are aspiring to become filmmakers like you? What can you say to them today or any day?
I'm going to listen to.
I guess I just like tell them to not be afraid and to follow their heart. Like if they really want to make something, just find that urgency and find your allies and do it. Because I mean, as a woman, of course, I know that it's a male-dominated society and it's not really easy. I feel judged a lot just because I'm a young woman. But if you really want to do it, you know, you'll find a way and just like prove it that you can like actually do it and make it somehow. But you need help. I think you really need like support from, you know, your other fellow women. You need like to let people know that this is what you really want and that you're gonna do it. So yeah. It's not easy.
Women supporting women. Yes, that it's not easy, but together we can make it happen. So speaking of women making history, so I read recently that the special jury award for innovative spirit, like you won that, and you're the first Filipino film to win that. Like, what was that like, getting that news? Like, did you expect it, or were you like, my film's super great, of course I'm gonna win this?
Of course not. Like I never even expected to like be in Sundance. It's like super surreal. Every time I talk to the programmers, I'm like, "Hey, are you sure? Are you sure our film's included in the program?" Because I never really thought it would like be in Sundance. But yeah, I think what I like about it is like how this small ambitious film like tried to fight what it wanted to be, and then they felt its heart and they eventually programmed it.
And did they do like a special award ceremony virtually for you, or was it just like in your email?
Well, they gave us the citation, and like I didn't really know how to react. Like, what is like innovative spirit at first? But I'm very happy that they recognized our team's effort. And like when I heard about the award, I was like, of course, like really happy because I feel that this is like a bonus for not just myself but for the team, and I guess for other aspiring young filmmakers like who have a lot of doubts. Like maybe it's not so impossible after all. But now that like weeks after, I sort of like realized that it also like along with the win there's this responsibility to make good use of it, because it's very rare, and the circumstances, like I'm a woman, it's my first film, it's a unconventional film, and we got recognized. So like I'm not just like supposed to like end it there. I should like work on like, I guess, like helping future filmmakers to like do their
Girl, I'll let you know. You do what you need to do, and if that includes resting, we're big on mental health over here at FilAm Creative. If you need, yeah, if that includes resting, like do that too. I'm so excited to see what happens next, even if it doesn't happen for a little while. I mean, who knows, right? Like you have this project. If you can, I guess if someone gave you like a huge budget to make your ideal project, what are you thinking of? Another narrative, or are you thinking of maybe switching over to like a documentary or something? Like what would be that project for you?
I think it's like a mix of a documentary and a fiction film.
Ooh.
But I'm intrigued by the question, because really the struggle came from our lack of funds. So if someone came in and just gave me money to make a film, would I do it? That's also a question, because I'm like a very slow person. I like to take my time in making things. So if I had a lot of money, I guess maybe yes. Because I guess that would be like one of the reasons why I'd feel the urgency to make something. And I can focus on it without having to like find other jobs to like, just live
Hell
through
yeah.
life.
I'm into that.
Absolutely.
Great answer.
Hey, don't forget that new episodes drop every Tuesday on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you download your favorite podcast. So don't forget to subscribe to us so you don't miss a single episode.
And we are back with Sundance Special Jury Prize Award winner Martika Escobar. Leonor Will Never Die is the film. Go out and see it if you haven't already. And for now, after you see it, you can then see this, which is Martika's 13 Things. And I'm going to pass it over to Ed so I can just react in this box over here.
Fantastic. All right, Marty, welcome to 13 Things. Let's get to know you a little bit. Marty, you are a writer-director. Can you recommend for us your 4 favorite writers or directors?
4 favorite. Can I recommend like 4 films?
Sure.
Because it's hard to like recommend like my favorite writer directors. I guess like the 4 films would be my favorite film of all time is Harold and Maude by Hal Ashby. Then
I love that
Persona
film.
by Bergman. Then Glitters and I by Agnes Varda. Perfume Nightmare by Kidlat Tahimik. Is that 4 already?
You can name another if you want.
I like The Hole by Tsai Ming Liang.
All right. I think that was 5, but it's okay. This is
Okay,
your
sorry.
day. You can do 5, you can do 50. It's all good.
13
All good.
things.
Exactly. You can do 13. Exactly. Okay. If you were not a writer or director, what would you want to do instead?
It'd be like a pilot.
All right. If you could run a nonprofit organization, what type of cause would it benefit?
I think it's like film literacy and audience literacy for change.
Okay. What's something peculiar that not a lot of people know about you?
Um, I guess my shoe size is like 10.5, which is kind of like big for a woman.
Girl, it's all right.
It's all
That means
good.
all your shoes are still there when the sale comes. You still got a pair.
It's very true.
Exactly. Exactly. If you could change or create one law or policy in the Philippines, what would it be?
I changed like all laws that eventually lead to killing a person. So
Okay. Awesome.
She's a humanitarian. I love it.
Yes. What is your favorite or most beautiful place that you've ever seen in the Philippines?
it's Coron, Palawan. Have you ever been?
I have not. No.
Oh, it's the best.
All right.
I'm putting that on my list.
Exactly. It's on the list. What is your favorite or most beautiful place you've seen anywhere in the world?
It's like a tie between like Budapest and like Prague.
Oh, Budapest. Okay. I love Budapest. So I could eat paprika anything all day. So
It's so
I
nice
applaud
there.
you. Yes. I love the people there and Prague. And I went on the same trip. So
Oh, nice.
I'm going to give you a big thumbs up for that one. Yes.
Getting hungry.
Let's see. Now I've lost my place on the questions. Okay. Where in the world have you not been to that you want to go see?
Like in Athens. I don't know why. But
Awesome. Okay. Let's get a little more serious now. What are your 4 favorite foods or types of foods that you've just got to have?
like chocolate. It's all unhealthy. Bacon. I don't know. Pizza and salad. Ooh, healthy.
Okay.
Keep it moving with the salad.
Ronnie, can we just stop and go eat with her now that I have
Yeah.
bacon? What is it again? Bacon,
Pizza, chocolate.
and then
Salad.
someone else can have the salad. That's great. Okay.
You can have a real fatty salad. All right. Like I love putting all of those things on the
I
salad.
was about to say, just put that all in the salad. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a good 13 things. Okay. All right, here you go. You can only have one, just one: corned beef, Spam, or Vienna sausage.
That's easy. It's spam.
All right. Let's eat balut. Yes or no?
No, I've never even eaten balut ever.
All
Me
right.
neither.
There you go. Me too. It's a 3. Okay. Favorite Filipino dessert.
Leche flan.
Okay.
Oh,
Fa-
ignore me. I love leche flan.
favorite non-Filipino dessert.
Anything chocolate.
I'm seeing a theme here. All right. Favorite boba. What do you get when you order boba?
And I have this favorite in the Philippines. It's like cheesecake pearl milk tea.
We
My
had
mouth.
Has like this layer of cream that's super thick.
Oh, we have that.
Last week, watched last week's episode. Caitlin and Jennifer mentioned that, didn't they, Ronnie? I believe they did.
I believe they did too.
Yes.
And it's the cheese foam. We have that here.
Yes.
Quick aside. My friends went to the Philippines and they had the cheesecake foam and they were looking at it. They're like, this is never going to take off in the US. It's too weird, but it's here. So when you come here, we can have ourselves some cheesecake foam.
We'll go there.
Yes.
Exactly. All right. So, I'm getting fat just doing these questions here. All right, here you go. Here's the question that everybody wants to hear from you, Marty. Favorite chocolate?
No, it's Maltesers.
Okay.
Ooh, we got a Euro chocolate.
And Twix and Crunch.
Keep going. That's fine. Okay. What's that?
Kisses with almonds.
There you go. She has all the answers. This is great. Okay. Favorite. Now we have to get healthy. Favorite fruit?
Watermelon.
Okay. Favorite alcoholic beverage?
It keeps on changing, but like now it's gin.
Okay.
We're about to have some gin when you come over. I love gin. I'm sorry. I'm just making 13 things has become a list of things to do when Marty comes. Yes.
We have the list for Marty when she hits Los Angeles. There it is. Okay. let's get a little more personal. Recommend just one. Name a Filipino or Asian book, movie, show, or music that you're currently into.
Well, right now I'm into this album called Cuaderno by Ben and Ben, and it's because like we're making a film about them. I'm shooting it tomorrow actually, so yeah, that's what I'm
All
like
right.
listening.
And when you finish that film, you can come back on Rise and Shine. So there you go.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
So
Let's see. Okay. Most memorable, good or bad thing you ever did on a first date.
I guess it's like the time when I like hid from a person I was supposed to meet from a dating app because I was just like scared to meet a stranger, so I just like hid behind the wall.
It's terrifying. I have done
Yeah.
the same. I have done the same. It's terrifying.
I love
Yeah.
it. All right. Here's the question that I love to ask. Let's play mahjong. How good are you?
I don't play mahjong. I don't know how to.
Oh, okay. All right. That's okay. I'll take your money. It's okay.
You'll teach me.
All right. Yes, we'll teach you. Okay. 2 questions left. Look directly into the camera and say one sentence to your haters.
Hello.
So nice. I love
The
it.
full sentence.
All right. And finally, last question. You, Marty, get to be the guest host for Rise and Shine with FilAm Creative. Name a Filipino or Asian guest, living or deceased, who you would want to interview and tell us why.
I'd like it to be like a filmmaker, and I think it should be like Kidlat Tahimik because I've always wanted to like pick his brain.
Okay.
Smart
All right.
choice.
You heard it here. Ronnie, take us out.
Oh my gosh. If you're not hungry or inspired by Marty's 13 Things, watch it again. Watch it as many times as you want. Now available on YouTube and Spotify and wherever else you get your podcasts. Rise and Shine, 13 Things. Martika Escobar, Leonor Will Never Die. I love the title. You'll love the film. Thank you again, Marty. And thank you. This has been 13 Things.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you following us on socials? What? You're not? How dare you? I mean, you totally should. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We even have a mailing list. We're at Rise and Shine FAC. That's Rise and Shine FAC. Or click like here. It'll take you right there. You don't got to do nothing else. So what are you waiting for? Like us, follow us, subscribe. See you there.
And we are back. Do whatever it is that commercial said to do. I'm pretty sure it's me again telling you to subscribe or to watch or to donate, because FilAm Creative does take donations at Venmo at FilAm Creative. And if you don't know how to spell that, you can go to our website. Speaking of generosity and inspiration and community, once again, I'd like to thank Martika Escobar. Martika, thank you for sharing with us your stories behind Leonor Will Never Die. I personally can't wait to see it. And I personally can't wait for you to come to LA and have a big, huge party
We
to
will
go
eat
see
chocolate
it.
bacon with you.
Yes, we will. I will bring you a bouquet of chocolate bacon because that exists too. Can you tell us, for those of us who are now obsessed with you, where can we follow you on social? Where can we follow the film's journey? Please.
Yeah, you can find like updates on our film in our IG account. I think it's like Leonor Will Never Die. And on Facebook, it's also Leonor Will Never Die. So it's easy to like just search. We just post like new anything like about our films and also like behind the scenes stuff if ever you're curious.
I love a good behind
Awesome.
the scenes.
Absolutely. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, I want to say one more time, I want to send our love to our brother Rex, who is not with us today, but our brother Rex will be with us next week because Ronnie and I are going to celebrate with you St. Patrick's Day, because Dr. Stacy and romance novelist Mia Hopkins are going to be back on the show. They were one of our most popular episodes last year. They're going to be back and they're going to be making Irish food and Irish drinks to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So join us for episode 42. That's next Tuesday. But today we're all about celebrating Marty Escobar. We're so grateful to have you here today. Marty, please come back and talk with us anytime again. And as Ronnie has already alluded, and I will say it also, please come to Los Angeles and we will find all the chocolate and all the pizza and all the donuts and all the other bad healthy things that we want to eat together. So on behalf of my good friend Rex, on behalf of my good friend Ronnie, on behalf of my sort of friend Veronica, and on behalf of our new friend Marty Escobar, this has been Rise and Shine. Thanks for watching episode 41. Thanks for celebrating International Women's Day with us. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Ronnie and Ed. New friends.